Hi and welcome to this very small video tutorial in which I will actually explain that how you can change the color of the row of the grid view when you place your mouse cursor over it. I will be making the application from scratch. So let's get on to it. We don't have any files right now over here, so I will simply add a new item and I will add a web form, and the web form is known as default.aspx. So I'll add it. Next thing I will do is add a connection string. Okay, in this case I will be using my own custom database. The database name is task database. I created that in SQL Server 2000, and it has one table, contacts. If you open up the contacts table, you can see the contents of that table. It has 4 columns: contact ID, name, address, and city. So let's make a very simple connection string, and then we can connect to the database and get that data. So open up the web.config. There is a connection string tag. Simply add a connection string between that tag. So we'll say add connection string equal to server equal to localhost database is task database, and I will say that trusted connection equal to true. Now we need to give the name to this, so we will give it the name is connection string, and our connection string is completed. Okay, now let's create a grid view. I will just simply create a grid view from over here. You are free to drag and drop the grid view from the toolbox onto the designer surface, but I will just create it right over here. Run at server, and here is our grid view completed. The next task is to populate the grid view. So we will make a property which will return as a connection string. So let's make a private property known as connection string. Okay, get return. Oh, we actually have a connection string. I thought we don't have a connection string. So we can get a connection string from over here. Connection string is equal to configuration manager. Now I know that if you were using the Visual Studio 2003, you had to actually make your setting for the connection string in the app settings, but now we have a connection string tag in web.config, so you can use that. And the name I gave was connection string dot connection string. You can check it over here that if your connection string is not null, what to do, but I will simply return the connection string over here without checking. So this will give me the connection string. My next task is to make a method that will populate the grid view. Okay, so let's make it a private method and name it populate grid view. Okay, now for that, since I have a SQL Server 2000 running and my database is on that and my old tables are on SQL Server 2000, I will have to make a connection. So I will say SQL connection, and you notice the small thing missing. So if you put your mouse cursor over the small thing, it will tell you that which namespace it belongs, because you need to add a namespace in order to work with the class, right? So you will just select using system.data.sql client, and bam, it's added at the top. You can do this trick with almost anything. If you know the class, simply put your mouse cursor at the end of the last letter of the class, and it will pop out a menu which will allow you to add the namespace. So you added the SQL connection, which is my connection, is equal to new SQL connection, and I will say our connection string is coming from the property. Connection string property is defined right over here. Now I will use the data adapter because that is the easiest. Okay, select all from table contacts. and here you go. Now the container that I'm using is dataset. I will fill the dataset. I will say my GridView1, my GridView actually, not 1. Data source is equal to this, and my GridView dot data bind, and that's it. Now the only thing you need to do is to call the populate in GridView method. So let's call it. If not equal to page dot postback, I'm doing this because I don't want to call this method over and over and over and over again on each event. I just want to call it once when the page is first time loaded. So I will simply say populate GridView and compile the program. Hopefully it has no errors. Control F5, run the program, and you will see the grid view with the contents in it. And here you go. Pretty simple. Now the next task is to add the on mouse over and on mouse out events on the rows of the grid view control, which will change the color of the rows as I put my mouse cursor on it. Okay, alright, so let's get to that. Now, there are actually certain ways that you can actually achieve this, but the best way to do this is to implement the code in the row created event of the grid view. Let's see, you go to the design view, okay, then you can see the grid view. Just right click the grid view, select properties, you will see all the properties and all that. Select this flash sign which says events. Now here you will find all the events that are attached with the grid view. Find the row created events, and you can see in the description it says fires when a row is created, and that is exactly what we want. So when a row is created, we'll attach the style to it at that particular moment. So simply press enter, and of course it will be implemented. Now we need to code this. So let's see. We don't want the row to be highlighted when our mouse cursor is on the header or the footer, so we only want it to be accessible or to be valid when the row is in the item template. So we'll say if e.row type equal to row type dot data row, meaning this means that we are talking about this row, this, this, not the header, only the items, and not the header, not the footer. Okay, now let's actually define the style. So when you put your mouse cursor on a certain row, what color do you want? Okay, I want yellow, to be really honest, so I'll say on mouse over style equal to, and I will put my style over here, this dot style dot I think it's called background color equal to yellow. So on mouse over, it will be yellow. Okay, sounds reasonable enough. Inside the if check, we will do e.row.attributes.add and on mouse over, and we will add that particular style that we just implemented and build the application. Let's try out how it looks like and run the application. Okay, it's working, but whoops, well, we didn't implement it on mouse out, right? So that's why the whole grid view has changed yellow. Reminds me of the song by Coldplay, it's also yellow. Anyway, now on mouse out, you need to implement some other style, maybe white, right? So we'll say on mouse out style equal to this dot style dot background color equal to white. Okay, so we will attach another parameter e.row.style.attribute.add and say on mouse out, which is actually white. So now it should work, right? So we have on mouse over, on mouse out. Let's run the application now and let's see the effect, what happens. So now the row is actually highlighted, okay, and whenever we change the color, it it clears out because the background is white. Let's try this on Firefox. Let's see if it runs in the Firefox. So we run the same thing, and yes, it is working on Firefox. You can see that I'm running this on Firefox, and it's cool, right? Well, no, it's not cool. The problem is my Gridview is doesn't have any style attached to it. Okay, I mean it's just white, but most of the time our Gridview will not be white, right? It will be of different color. So let's change the color of this to auto format, and let's say if I choose something, well, let's say I choose this brown Gridview, okay, and let's run the application now, and let's see what happens now. So you see what's going on? Whenever we go to a different item and on mouse out event is fired, and it changes the color to white, which is not good, right? So we need to fix this problem so that it can work. All right, so let's see how we can fix this problem. Okay, so we're back again, and let me show you that how we can fix that problem. As you can see that I have highlighted it in a different way, so the alternate rows is now in a light brown color, and the item row or the item template back color is in like a pinkish color. So let's go to the code behind and let's see how we can fix that white fading effect that we were getting last time. Okay, the first thing is for the row that we need to implement it for each item and not the header. So we'll say e.row dot row type. If row type is a data row, then we need to implement some functionality, right? Over here we can define the style. Okay, so let's say on mouse over style, which is in this case this dot style dot background color, and we have yellow. We have another style which is on mouse out style. This will be this dot style dot background color equal to, and we can say at back color. Okay, now this is a variable that I'm using. I will substitute this with the name of the color, the alternate color, and then we have another variable which is row back color equal to string dot empty. So now we got everything. If you go and check out this page, the alternating row style is pale golden red, and the row style back color is wheat. So we can actually say that both of them are different, so we cannot use the same background. So we need to check that if the item is an alternate item or if the item is not an alternate item. Okay, so we will say e.row.row state. So if the row state is alternate, then what do we have to do? So if it is alternate, then we can do on mouse out is equal, actually row color, I'm sorry. So row back color is equal to the grid view, which is called my grid view dot alternating row style dot back color dot name. Simple, right? Okay, now if it is not, so else we can do something else. else row back color is equal to my grid view dot row style dot back color dot name. Okay, simple enough. Now the only last thing that is left to do is to attach those style to the on mouse and on mouse over events. So we'll say e dot row dot attributes dot add on mouse over, and we will add on mouse over e dot row dot attributes dot add on mouse out, and we will say it is on mouse out dot replace back color with row back color. Compile the application, and let's see. Okay, something is missing over here. Let's put this, run the application. Your internal server pops in. Okay, so this is your internal server, and let's see that how it works. See, so now even I am rolling my mouse over different colors, it remembered the old color, and the highlighting is also taking place correctly, right? Let me copy this thing and paste it over here so it works on the Firefox. So see, it's pretty simple, right? So in this article, or should I say video, actually I've been saying article all throughout the video. So in this video you saw that how you can color the rows when you put your mouse cursor over it, and this also gives you an idea that how you can remember the colors, old colors, and in this way it's a nice effect. You can use it in your applications, and it's a good way that if you have like thousands of rows, then it's a good way to uh, extract that row out, or to just simply it should show that okay, we are on this particular row at this time. Okay, so I hope you like the video. If you do, please email me and let me know further ideas. I know this video is pretty long, it's like 20 minutes, but I just wanted to keep it simple, keep it plain, so that the users could understand much better. And let me know, and thank you very much. You have a great day then.